Hey, hey, hey! So, my name is Mish. As many of you may know, the ones who actually watch this, I've realized are people who are quite present in my life, and that's wonderful to know. That also makes this way more much of a bit of bigger deal, I guess, because this is more pressure, and this the things that I have to like just consider when yeah. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be great. I'm really excited to go. But yeah, so today I guess I started out like every other normal day of my life. I woke up, uh, did not wake up for my alarm, just completely slept through it. Only woke to the sound of my mum just full on like just pulling like yanking on the blinds just to get them, for the sun to hit my face. And that usually works. So I got up and like every other day of my week had a DNA with mum before she had like headed off to work. And that was good. I always love having DNAs with mums. Like I said in my last video, I mean, mothers are just this amazing oasis of wisdom, of love, of everything you would want in your life. So I do recommend that. That being said, mums, your relationship, I don't know, but I still encourage it. I think it's a good idea. Yeah, mothers have a wonderful. They have, I have no words. They're just really, just amazing people, and yeah, I don't know. It's weird, right? Think about it. From like a woman, like from a girl, from a baby, we become a girl, and then well, if you're a girl, and then from that you become like a teenager. From that you become a woman, and then from there you get married, have a kid, and then all of a sudden this like amazing greatness comes upon you, and you're just this amazing woman. So I guess that being said, there is a bit of work that has to be. I think I'm sure the mothers must be just like just shaking their heads at me right now if they're watching this, like, oh, she knows nothing, and that's probably true. So that's that. I want to bring up the whole idea and concept, and this whole talk, I guess not talk, but I guess a chat, chat about mothers, because this is the month of May, and that means it is the month for Catholics out there. It is the month that we do venerate and we honor, and we, as Catholics, we try our best to build a relationship and a more of a stronger relationship with Our Lady, so Mother Mary, and it's this wonderful month where like we do small things, like we pray to her, we think about her, we say the rosary a bit more often, we try our best to show her our love and devotion, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful month in May, and it's no coincidence, I suppose, that Mother's Day falls on this weekend, so this Sunday, the 12th of May, and I knew that by heart. I'm so proud of myself. But yeah, so it's a big month for mothers, and for it, not only in the faith but of the faith, and out of the faith, like everyone, mothers. It's a big month for us. But yeah, so I want to talk about mothers, and I want to talk about beauty, because I think those two are very closely linked. Because when you think of a mother, you think instantly of just this inner beauty that kind of just emanates from within. I think there's mothers have that amazing quality to them, and look, it's magical. So where I wanted to start off was with beauty. So I think that's something that we can all kind of relate to, that we know what beauty is. It's quite easy for me to say, oh, that flower is beautiful, or like, that person is beautiful, but what makes a person beautiful? And that's the question that I really wanted to kind of delve into today. What is beauty to us? Like, what is it? Is it in the eye of the beholder, or is it just a very like objective kind of view on this is what beauty is? Look, I think, well, personally, I can only really speak from my own thoughts, but I believe, look, there are two different types of beauty. I'm not two, maybe there are more. I'm sure there are multiple different like types of beauty. But I guess when it comes to people, I suppose there are two different types of beauty, and that's what I have kind of gathered throughout my life, I guess. You get the exterior beauty of someone, and then you get the interior. I think that's quite explain. Yeah, it makes sense. Yep. It explains itself, I guess. I don't really have to talk about that, but I guess look, I think, as I mean, human beings, and look, I think we tend to really kind of get drawn into more exterior beauty, right? And I think we can all agree on this when we say that like everything that we are subject to in this community, in this society, that we see so many like ads and like advertisements and magazines, and not just that, but the internet. Don't even get me there. That's like another thing altogether. We're just being just inundated with all these images of what beauty is. And look, I think there was a huge surge in around 2012 to about now. Actually, it's still going on. To challenging the view of beauty. What is beauty? And challenging the stereotypical view of what beautiful is. I think that's wonderful. I think that's something that we should probably think about more, have more conversations about around the dinner table. Those things are important to discuss, because I feel like everyone is we're subject to that. It's a very monotonous just view of like, this is what beauty is. This is what beauty is, from social media, from I don't know, from what we are subject to, what we see every day. And I think maybe we just I don't want to say brainwashed, but we somewhat get conditioned. I would suppose that we get conditioned to see beauty in a particular way, to fit a certain shape, to fit in a certain size, or a certain type of symmetry. Look, not to say that that isn't beautiful. All right, I think and I know this is a bit like, ooh, is she in hot water when I say this, but I think everyone is beautiful. That is my opinion. Look, I know, like, some of you must be thinking like, what about Hitler? What about that guy? What about Stalin? Right? What about that dude who, like, honestly just did terrible things, and you know what he did. But look, I just don't believe that anyone is born bad. If that makes sense, and no one is not beautiful at all. Like, I think there is a bit of beauty in everyone. Everyone has good in them. That's what I believe in. I think that, look, it's just a matter of exploring that goodness, exploring that beauty, and making it shine brighter than making it shine brighter. So I was thinking about that quite often, and I was actually, the reason why, I'm going to be honest, the reason why I even thought about this topic was that I ran out of primer like a week ago. And for you guys who don't know what primer is, in the whole makeup situation, what you really do, and I've watched like a billion tutorials. Don't tell my mom. Don't tell anyone really, because I'm kind of low key, not really. I don't want anyone to know, no. But it's not a big. I guess it's not a big deal. But I remember back in the day, maybe a couple of months ago, I used to watch makeup tutorials, because I realized I came to this point where I would turn to an event and everyone would be stunning, absolutely stunning. Like everything, like it would be like I'd walked into like a carnival, or like some sort of amazing like event where everyone was like painted faces and color, and like everything was so precise, and you could like cut a knife with you could like literally slice things off with how sharp people's eyeliner was, the flick. And I was just like, you know what, the only flick I know is the flick of the wrist. No, that's not bad. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna move past that. Well, I guess from that event, I was just like, you know what, I just felt like I looked like a piece of sludge, like just really just blunt, and just like a little ball walking around, just like really like a little poofy ball that had no idea what was going on, or what makeup was, or what I should be really doing with it. And from that experience that I had, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna invest in some makeup. I'm gonna teach myself a few things. And look, any women, men watching this right now, you'd know the trials and tribulations of having to go through all these things and realize that you have to learn. And look, it's the whole thing anyway. But for me, it was, I guess, for me, some people find it fun, but for me, I found it fun. But I'm rambling, cool. But I kind of realized I need to learn, and so I went online and I looked through onto Mecca, if you are familiar with Mecca, and I went through some things that I thought, okay, I need like the very, very basic things like bronzer and highlighter and like primer. Anyway, so what that kind of got me to is that I realized that I don't know how to primer. Sorry, and I bought primer, and primer is really what goes on your face after moisturizer but before foundation. I'm proud I can recall that. And so I ran out of that, and I thought, okay, I need to go back online, because who has time to go into shops nowadays, am I right? Yep. So I bought some new primer, and And I was looking online and I was thinking, wow, like I kind of just typed in primer, and I had not. And I'm a adventurous soul in the sense that I don't like to stick to one thing. I'd like to try new primers, try new things, and see what the difference is and all these things. So I just typed in primer online, and like if I recall correctly, like a billion things came up, and I think you've had that experience before as well. A billion things came up, and I was just like, I was so overwhelmed. Um, sure, like I was pretty spoiled for choice, 100%. But I just thought, okay, this is a bit like by the fifth page, I was like, okay, this is a bit, a bit much, like too many choices right now. And then I came to realize, like, like there are women, like and I don't know about men, but women, like we find this need to kind of to the desire to find perfection, the desire to strive after something that is more than just ourselves, to be, or just to accentuate things about ourselves that we don't think are already good enough. I think if anything, that's a pretty great tragedy in my opinion. I feel, because there are women out there who are just gorgeous, and you know that, you've seen these women, and like without makeup, even just probably even more so without makeup, just beautiful. And the fact that I've heard so many women, and I mean, I'm amongst my friends, we've had these conversations about like how makeup gives us so much confidence. It gives us this. It's somewhat like a battle mask, like a thing, just to. It's like a shield, but for our face, and it just helps us go out and battle and just like face the world, face all these things that these people, these ads, these marketing tools, and companies that kind of make us feel like we're less. We go into battle, and that's the mask that we wear. Um, but it's kind of ironic because we're kind of falling into what they're telling us that we should do, I guess. But I think we don't really realize that we are enough naturally. Um, yeah, and I think that's another thing. I think, and as a woman, I think I've grown up thinking, and in high school especially, like that used to be something that brought me to tears. That whole line that I am not enough, and that's something that really hit home with me, and it really resonated, because I realized, and if I just put a tiny little anecdote in there, because that's what I do. In year 9, I watched this movie called I Am Sam for this multimedia class that I picked up because I thought that was cool and trendy. And I watched this film with one of my best mates, and I remember like she was sitting in front, and this is like a vivid memory for me. And she was sitting in front, and I was sitting towards the back, and the scene came on where Sam, who is this, if you look it up, he's the protagonist of the film, and he's autistic, and I think it might be Down syndrome, but I'm not quite sure. And he has this child, and it comes to the point where his daughter is mentally more intelligent, than he is, and then that begs the question of like, who can he take care of her, even like who's parenting who. And the courts the law come in, and they want to take her away. Pretty much, that's what the whole plot, I guess, is. And amongst this, there's a lawyer that helps Sam to get his daughter back, and she works pro bono, and she's amazing. And if you know who the actress is, her name is Michelle Pettifer. She's amazing. Well, she has a scene where she herself is going through a very difficult family crisis of her own, and she comes to Sam complains to her, saying that it's so hard. Life is so hard for him. He can't be who he wants to be. He can't be the man that he wants to be for his daughter. And Michelle Pettifer, the lawyer, just kind of breaks down and says, "How could you think it's so bad for you? It's so bad for me too." And she brings up this really good point of how perfection. She seems perfect with her, her great job at this amazing law firm, and was beautiful clothing, beautiful like attire, everything's perfect. And she drives a Benz. She has a huge house, and all these things that seem from the surface just like super lucky. Like you would think, wow, what a lucky person to have all that. And she breaks down. She absolutely breaks down, and she talks about how how her marriage is not faring well at all, and how her child hates her. And she then goes on to say that, I will never be enough. And, for anyone, I will never be enough. Whatever I do, it won't be enough. And I remember just watching that, and for the first time, and just, I was watching it, and my lips started to quiver, and my eyes started to, like, my just face started to leak, and I didn't understand what was going on. And all I knew that I was just sad, and I was just, and it wasn't just for the character. And I realized it was not for the character, it was for more than that, it was for me. And very soon, I remember I would think of that, and those moments where you feel, in the future, when you're on the brink of crying and you need something to kind of just push you over the edge, I'd watch that excerpt on YouTube, and that would help me release all these emotions that was pent up for, anyway, that's kind of dumb what I did, but I would do that just to kind of let go, and that would be something that would really always make me cry. And I saw one of my best mates, and she was a wreck too, and that was one thing that I thought that that's actually that's how I wanted to be friends. Oh, anyway, that's a long story. But yeah, I mean, it's incredible how we don't think that we are enough. And I'm going to link that back to beauty. With beauty, I think, the exterior is, sure, it's important, sure, thinking that you need to wash your face in the morning and put on suitable clothes and have like a face that seems kind of, presentable, is okay. That is fine, and I think that's completely fine. But I just think there is a point in life where I think we just need to move past the exterior. And I think, it's important to just keep everything presentable. I'm sure there is. That's not what I'm saying, but I think that we have to focus more on our interior beauty. Something that we need to, and that's something what we notice. That's what I think is quite funny amongst all this, that we notice beauty, but exterior, sure we do, but we appreciate interior beauty more, and we don't realize that we do that. Like when we have a friend, for example, let's say one of my really good friends, she was engaged, had an engagement ceremony, and a betrothal, I can't say that word, maybe like 2 weeks ago, and or last weekend, and I could not tear my eyes away from the couple, because it just emanates, and I do not know how to describe this, but their beauty of their strength, of their determination, of their confidence, of their faith, of all these qualities, of their happiness, joy, peace that they bring to everyone else, it kind of just comes off of them, in vibrations almost. And to me, that's what beautiful is. That is beauty in its most pure state. I think it's your interior, it's who you are, it's your strength of character. That is what beauty is. And look, I know we buy makeup, and today actually the reason I also came back to this topic was because I got my delivery today of my primer, and I just was thinking, I feel like I should talk about this. I feel like it's an important thing that we discuss, especially in this age. I think it's important that we talk about what beauty is to us. And mothers, oh gosh, I feel like I've been rambling, I'm sorry, but I just, I'll get back to that, I'm sure. But with beauty, look, I just think, interior beauty is one of those amazing things that everyone has. We all want to be strong, we all want to be confident, we all want to be good friends, and that's as basic as it gets, right? Like we all have friends, we want to be good to them, we want to have their back, to be with them, to help them, and to love them for who they are. And that's why I guess God is beautiful in that way as well, because he is the ultimate friend that we have, and Jesus and Mother. And I guess that's why Mother Mary and Jesus, and especially Mother Mary, I feel that she is an example of beauty. She encaptures it, and she encompasses it. I can't speak today, sorry, but she brings another angle to what beauty really is, and she reminds us what beauty is, at its core. And I think also we can talk about friendship in this case as well. Like the closest friends to us, we think, I'm sure that's to me, that's how it works. are the most beautiful people, because not only do you know them on a more intimate level, but you appreciate them for everything that they are, and for all those things that they are, like the physical, the physical side, the emotional side, the spiritual side, the mental side, like everything is beautiful. And it's not only just the physical or the very apparent things that are beautiful about them, or their laugh, or like their smile, or their sense of humor, or their personality. It's not just that, it's the flaws, and it's the things that really, that they're self-conscious about. Like I remember like being so super self-conscious about like love handles, and I was like, ooh, these have got to go. And like I just got to cover them up. Either one or the other, like it's either got to go or I'm going to cover them up. And I used to like hide behind those things. And like like I remember in the changing room when I was growing up, when I was a young kid, like in the changing room of like swimming practice, I would just quickly just put everything on, take everything off if I had to, just insanely fast. And I would always need, if at all there wasn't a changing room present, I would just freak out. But I was super self-conscious. And then I met this girl, and her name is Talia. And this was like a long time ago, just so so that's why it's a memory. But she told me, she was like, oh, like why are you rushing so quick? Why are you trying to, And I was like, oh no, I just wanna, I said something that was definitely just like, you could tell 100% that was not the truth. I was just saying, oh look, I just need to get to practice quickly, don't worry. And she was like, oh, like, are you okay? Are you feeling okay? And I think she could tell that I was upset. And later on, like, with months of friendship, and that's how we connected on a very, very deep level, I guess. She was like saying, oh, like, I could tell that day when we started to talk that I felt that you were uncomfortable, and I just want to know that you are who you are, and you're beautiful for who you are. So don't let anyone take that away from you. And I remember thinking, wow, is this a TED talk, or is this a friend? Like, have I signed up for this? But it was beautiful. Like I was so in that moment elated that I had someone in my life that saw me for who I was, and didn't judge me, or didn't take me for granted, or think that I looked stupid, which is also quite handy, for someone to think that you look stupid. But and I realized in that moment, like, look, it's great to receive affirmations and compliments on your physical beauty. Sure, it's wonderful, and bringing it back to even now, like, I mean, a couple of years back, I used to look different. I'll just leave it at that. But now I look different now, and I've changed. In terms of physical appearance, I've changed, and like, and everyone was in my face about it, like, not in a bad way, I guess, but everyone was just like, oh, congratulations, you've done so much, you worked so hard, how did you do it, like, asking me all these questions and giving me all these like compliments, and like I remember at some point it got too much, and I was just like, stop, like, and from, I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, like, from the beginning I felt like it was already enough. And I realized how, like, sick and tired I was of just being acknowledged just for my physicalness. But then, being said, I understand why people do that, and they have the need to kind of congratulate you, and all that makes a lot of sense. Not saying that I'm not for that. It's great to congratulate someone, in an achievement, in their life, sure. But that being said, I guess it's not all about those things, and it's so much better. Like, for me, if someone came up to someone and said, your confidence is something that I really admire, when you walk into like a situation where you're, unfamiliar territory, and you can really just figure out, who to talk to, and you don't exclude anyone, like that. Those things, like those words, would mean way more, much more, than if someone told you, oh, you look great, you look hot, you look beautiful, you look, I'm gonna say it's sexy. Yeah, like, it's a different thing, don't you? Yeah, like, if you, I don't know if you pick up on that, but it's a different, like, depth, and it shows that it's a different level of intimacy. and the people are just a person that talks about and admires or notices your beautiful, your the things, the qualities about you that are beautiful, but in your interior life, those are the things, and those are the things that really stay with you. And you don't want to be beautiful any other way. There's a part of you that feels that way, I think, when that happens. Well, I'm gonna leave it right now because I feel like there's a lot more I could talk about, and I just feel like maybe I could be a bit more prepared next time, because this one was really bad. It was super impromptu. I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna put my phone here and I'm just gonna record and I'm gonna hit, well, what happens. And the video is split into two, by the way, in case you saw the thing, because my mom called another D&M for another 20 minutes. Yeah, that's right. So she was on her work break, so that's what happens. Yeah, so in case it's a bit jarred, that's probably why, the break in between. But I guess there's a way more to talk about beauty. There's a way more to talk about, inner beauty, the interior life, Mother Mary, the month of May. There's heaps of things to talk about. Look, my advice right now for you from here is to just remember, your takeaway is that try and focus on your interior beauty more than your exterior. Sure, it's important to be presentable and keep everything in its right shape, but your interior beauty is what matters in the end. And really, the people in your life are going to appreciate you more for it, and you're going to appreciate yourself more for it. And you will show yourself how much you love yourself through that path as well. Another takeaway would have to be, talk to your mom. She's wonderful for who she is. She just contains multitudes and is a plethora of wisdom and all these good things. So please, talk to your mom. She's incredible woman. I'm sure she is. And if not, please talk to a sister or a really good friend that you can talk to. And I mean, look, mothers are irreplaceable, and so I think mothers probably should be a number one. But look, things happen, right? So friend or sister would be fantastic too. And the third thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, just for your takeaway, would to definitely be to find your inner strength, to think about your strength of character, think about those things. That's very, very, very important. And also reflect on your insecurities. Think about the things where you are flawed. And because I keep stressing on this, but I think it's an important thing that we all go through that, because the sooner that we kind of face reality, the sooner we can live our lives and live to our fullest capacity. And I really wish you guys all the best. And I am on my journey myself, and I'm literally alongside you guys. I am just en route. So hopefully you're en route as well. And look, we can only support each other, and that's my fourth takeaway. Please support each other, because it's not a journey. It's not a thing that we can do on our own. We need support. We need friends. We need friendship. We need to grow in friendship. And I think in this society we need to really understand what friendship is, because the amount of refraction happening in relationships is unbelievable. So be the best person you can be, as often as you can be, as consistently as you can be. And that is the tough part. The consistency is a tough part, because it's okay. It is somewhat self explanatory, and it's very commonsensical for us to know how to be a good friend, but for us to be consistent with it is what is difficult. So try and be consistent. Hey guys, we've got each other's backs. Don't think you're alone in this. We've got each other, and that's all that we need. So, and we've got God. So what more do we really need? And we're just gonna do this together. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for joining me on this talk that lasted half an hour. Yeah, you did. You lasted half an hour. Good job, guys. I didn't even know this is probably gonna replace Chinese torture one day, just these videos. So which is a little bit terrifying. Wish I didn't say that. But God bless, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.